Hi, my name is Dennis Hansen. Thanks for listening in today. Are you taking Suboxone and are you afraid of jumping off? Have you developed a dependency on Suboxone? Has it changed your life, but now you feel like you want to go and walk away from this drug? That may not be so easy. We have found that many patients that have become dependent on Suboxone have a tremendous fear of coming off of this drug. And I'm here to say that the fear in some cases is justified. Generally speaking, the withdrawal process from Suboxone is very different than short-acting opiates. Short-acting opiates produce very intense acute withdrawal symptoms. They're very predictable. However, Suboxone or buprenorphine produce much less severe symptoms. However, the symptoms are much more protracted. They take a longer period of time to completely run their course. We've also noticed that the symptoms from Suboxone withdrawal are much more mental. Patients that in the past never struggled with depression somehow seem to have depression when they're on Suboxone coming off. So at New Beginnings Recovery Center in South Florida, we specialize in helping patients that have in the past been fearful of jumping off. In fact, we have many patients that come from around the country that have not found any local practitioners that were skillful enough to help them guide through this difficult time. We have a series of different medications, different supplements, and we meet the challenges head on. Some of the symptoms that are of primary concern with Suboxone withdrawal after a long period of usage are insomnia. Insomnia is probably the number one offender. We at New Beginnings, we aggressively treat insomnia with many different ways, and basically insomnia is the medications that are used initially may not necessarily work after a week or two. So we have found that you have to be flexible and you have to stack various different medications to come up with the achieved result of sleeping. So we have found that if we're able to get patients to sleep, everything else seems to go better. Anxiety is an issue. We have found non-mood altering ways to address anxiety. There are certain medications that help deal with the cravings that are associated with jumping off of opiates. Depression is another area of concern. Generally speaking, depression is not really an issue when it comes to coming off of a short-acting opiate, but it is an issue for that same person who's been dependent on Suboxone. So there are various ways to aggressively treat these symptoms, and that's what we specialize at New Beginnings Recovery Center. So if you're finding that your practitioner out there does not know how to get you off or is not confident, or if you've been unsuccessful and have attempted to come off, consider coming to our clinic. We are located in South Florida. Many patients fly in here for one weekend. All we really need is an hour or two for you here at our clinic, and we can do our follow-up visits by phone, remotely, call in medications or overnight medications to your local pharmacy. So consider, if you've been dependent for a while and you really want a good solution, we can help you. And there is a way to get off of this, and there is a way to get off of it in a relatively painless way. That's New Beginnings Recovery Center, area code 561-790-4177. Thanks for listening in today.